Okay, so today I'm going to go through how to set up your Google Analytics. If you're in marketing at all, then you need your analytics to validate what you're doing, prove that whatever your campaign you're working on has been working, or to identify opportunities based on trends you spot in your traffic. When I was first starting out trying to learn this stuff, there wasn't a lot of good guides out there, so that's why I'm sharing this video specifically for like small business people because you're going to need all the help you can get, with limited resources to be innovative about finding ways of getting more sales and more leads. Okay, so right now what I'm looking at is the real-time report in Google Analytics for my one of my websites, my math site. You can see no one's on the site right now. Now, Google Analytics is a powerful tool, but it doesn't come ready-made for everything. Pretty much the only thing it shows you out of the box is page views. When it comes to things like sales and leads, you need a different type of data to capture, which they call events, which are basically activities that happen on a page, not a new page view or page visited. So the easy way to set this up is with Google Tag Manager. You go to Google Tag Manager, and over here I've created what's called a tag, which is basically a piece of information you're capturing from your site for your form submission, right? So you go in here, it's you have multiple options, but you're gonna pick the universal analytics tag, track type event. I named it as a form category, and the action is submission. The label's up to you. I chose to just collect the URL so I know what page this form was submitted on. And very importantly, the value of this, a lead to me has monetary value. I just put 100 as like a default value, but you could pick whatever. It could be a hunch, it could be historical average, whatever you want to use. But make sure if something has a business impact in terms of getting you sales or things that can lead to sales, like leads, contact info, you put a value there because it's going to help you in your other reports later on, such as in your dashboards or page views, so that you can compare different parts of your site, different aspects of your site, and know which one's actually more valuable for you. Your analytics settings, I just put in I have a tracking ID variable, but really that's just gonna be your Google ID, your Google Analytics ID with a few other specs. Let's see what else is in here. I'm firing once per event. I could and I probably should override some settings to add a custom dimension for my timestamp, right? Because you're gonna want to know when your form was submitted, right? When you're looking at it. So let's go over here. Let's go into Google Analytics. You got to go into Google Analytics to get certain info. For example, your analytics ID is here. This is what goes into your Google Analytics settings. I'll show you that later. Then your custom dimensions, they're set up here under the property, which is like your site itself or your app. Then you're going to go look under custom definitions, custom dimensions. I've already assigned timestamp dimension to the number one slot on a hit scope, which is basically when something happens, like an activity, when an action happens. So timestamp index 1 in Google Analytics, I capture that over here in Google Tag Manager index 1 timestamp. Google Tag Manager sends everything you set up to be captured on your website to Google Analytics so you can get your reports. And what's convenient about Google Tag Manager is you don't need to do a whole bunch of coding, hard coding on the site in the code. You just paste the tag into your header, and then you handle everything on this side, or at least most things. Right? It's a lot easier, more convenient. Okay, so that is the tag itself. It's all the information I'm capturing. Now the trigger is what causes the tag to activate, right? So I'm telling Google Tag Manager, activate when I'm on the contact page, because that's where this form is located. I don't have to put that there as part of my validation. But the important part is activate when the form ID match equals this right here, WP Forms Form 88. If you try to do this, when I tried to do this with contains, even with the right form ID, it didn't work for me. So I'm just letting you know that when you're doing form IDs, you're tracking form IDs, use equals here, or else you could run into some trouble. Notice I'm capturing only on some forms, the ones with this ID, not all forms. So this tag does not get triggered by every form that gets submitted, although this is the only form on my site. So let me come show you how I figured out that that was the form ID I wanted. IDs, if you don't know about like HTML, element IDs on a page are unique, right? So you can only have one ID on the page, else you're going to probably get some errors or something. So you come here, you right click and go to inspect like you saw me do. Then you can hit this little select thing. Go here, go into a field in your form. You see I'm in the input field for your email. Go all the way up from here until you see form tag. See that form? And then right next to form, you see your ID. Double click in there. That's the ID of this form. It's the unique identifier for this form. So now that you got your form ID, we're saying, I want this tag to trigger when this ID is submitted, right? Form submission is it comes built into Google Tag Manager, right? You can select a whole bunch of types of triggers, but specifically for leads, form submission is what you want, right? Okay, come out, save your tag. What changes? Let's stay here and save the changes. Oh, I added the timestamp, right? Because we do want to know when it's. Come over here, submit. I just put something descriptive to let me know what I changed. So timestamp for forms, publish. Now you have to validate and confirm that your tag actually works as you want. So come in the tag manager at the top, hit preview. Okay. Now, when you go to your website, it's going to give you data about what's actually happening in your tag, right? So I'm on the forms page. Let's refresh this so we can see the preview info. So you see this just popped up, okay? So right now, the only thing that fired was a page view because we refreshed and we're on a new page. Let's submit this form. And then I'm going to hit escape right after I click submit to try to freeze it before it actually submits. So hit submit. See form tag trigger came up. Now, if you click in here, it's got my value. It's got the category I set. The value is 100. It's forms. The action submission. Okay. It's got the timestamp. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So it's got everything I need, right? Now, if I go over to my Google Analytics real-time report, let's go up here. That's where the clock is in Google Analytics overview. I should see, you see someone's on the contact page. Go to conversions because I've set this as a goal, actually. You can see one contact form was submitted, right? Now, goals is something you have to set up in Google Analytics. Technically, this is just an event type in Google Tag Manager. You have to customize. So see, the event was forms, the action was submission. There was one. You have to customize in Google Analytics. This is important. You have to customize your events and other goals specifically inside of Google Analytics and specify that they're goals. So you come here to your view, go to goals. You're going to see I already created a goal called contact form. It's a goal type of event. You have different options and it's recording. It's on. We got one was completed, what they call a conversion in the past 7 days. That was just me probably. Click on here. You'll see all the details. So it's a custom. I didn't go with the template, but you could have, right? You could have chosen that, but let me get out of there. Let's just X out of here. I don't really want what they have. Let's get out of there. So let's go up to hours. It's custom event, right? Event is important because, like I said, if you're a business owner, event is what's going to be when your leads are submitted, if you have e-commerce, when your purchase button is submitted, right? And the transaction actually goes through, all those activities actually track with what's called an event. Actions that happen on a page, not necessarily page views. Because the reason I don't like tracking that kind of stuff with page views is because if someone refreshes the page or goes back or just happen to bookmark that page and come visit it, I'm going to get sent a goal to my data in Google Analytics every time they hit that page, although they're not buying again or they're not becoming a lead again by filling out a form. So you see here, I'm specifying the event to Google Analytics. I'm saying Google Analytics. When you see an event that has a category form and an action called submission, I want you to classify that as a goal. I don't care what label it has. I don't care what value it's been given in Google Tag Manager. If it has these two, then I want it to be a goal. Okay. And then yes, use the event value as the goal value for this conversion. You don't have to do this. You could specify inside of Google Analytics what you want the value to be. But I'm saying just keep the event value I gave it in Google Tag Manager. Either way is fine. You can verify the goal to see how many times it's been hit. It had a 25% conversion rate in the past week. That means one out of, say, me, one person, and there were 4 other people didn't convert, but I did. So you save that goal. Cool. Now we want to confirm the timestamp I just created. Let's go to our behaviors, events, and check the time on, or we can even go to conversions maybe. Check the timing of when that form was submitted. So we're gonna go to events. Let's go to say top events or pages. We want to know when. Okay, so we're gonna go to our second dimension, type in time, get the timestamp, event category. Let's go more specific. Let's click on forms, submissions, and let's go to today specifically. So the 23rd. We want to know. Now this thing has a delay. It might not show. We got one. It's there. Timestamp. Timestamp. When was that submitted? When was this lead submitted? June 23rd at 6:24 in 3 seconds. Blah, 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 0.4277 UTC time zone, or whatever that is. So you can see now we're collecting time of an event or goal, time, value of the event, right? Let's see if we can also, we should be able to see some info on our goals section too, because remember, not all events are goals. Some things you want to track and they don't have monetary value, and they don't have necessarily an important business value, but you want to track them anyway, just for your reporting purposes. Obviously, goals are the most important thing for your business, but just saying. So let's see if the timestamp's there. It is. So we have the timestamp of the goal at its URL. Let's see. And you can see when you go up here to the goal option, you can see which goal it is. Today we had one goal, which was the contact form, one completion, $100 value. Okay. So I just wanted to show you guys that because I think it'll be helpful for business owners, small business owners, to know what's happening on this site, to know what's driving sales, to know what's driving leads with data to back it up so that you can adjust to what's working and validate your whatever you want to test. Hope that helps out.